And at this time, I will recognize myself for 5 minutes to our questions to our witnesses. Ms. Miller, do you believe that PHMSA's primary mission as a regulator should be safety?
I do.
And would you explain why pipelines have a net positive effect on the environment?
Well, as you've heard from other witnesses, and first I should say thank you, Chairman, for the question, but as you've heard from other witnesses as well, pipelines are the cleanest and safest way to move energy. The demand for affordable, reliable, and safe, sustainable energy sources is growing, and natural gas is abundant in the United States. So with appropriate regulatory policy, natural gas can, and the pipelines that the midstream operators design, install, and operate can be the way that safe, affordable, reliable energy is delivered to the communities that need it. I would note that the U.S. Energy Information Administration has reported that natural gas results in fewer emissions than using coal or petroleum products to deliver the same energy. Therefore, when you use natural gas through pipelines in place of coal or other petroleum products, you're actually enabling communities worldwide to have reliable, affordable energy sources to enable a higher quality standard of living safely. And our members, on top of all that, our members are prioritizing safety, and they're looking for ways to ensure that their pipelines do not have leaks. Emitted gas, lost gas is actually lost profit, lost value for our members, so they are not only incentivized to ensure that natural gas pipelines are operated safely, but they also deliver an environmental benefit because it's the right thing to do, but also because they're financially incentivized to ensure that that product stays in the pipe.
Well, thank you. Mr. Moriarty, 40% of electric generation in the United States comes from natural gas. Electricity demand in the United States is projected to increase more than 25% in the next 5 years, in part because of the race for AI and the onshoring of manufacturing. That means we're going to need more natural gas, which will require significant infrastructure build-out, including the expansion of pipeline infrastructure. Could you elaborate on how pipeline constraints impact and ultimately jeopardize safety?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. States that allow prompt regulatory recovery of the costs for the replacement and relocation of pipelines will accelerate the upgrading of aging infrastructure. We have these regulatory mechanisms in Florida and in Maryland and Delaware. Also, excavation damage is the primary source of distribution pipeline incidents and hampers operations and efforts to upgrade aging infrastructure. States that have strong excavation damage prevention programs and enforcement typically experience lower rates of damage to distribution pipelines.
Well, thank you. Mr. Black, the Pipes Act of 2020 recognized the value of using new technologies to bolster both efficiency and safety. However, DOE's implementation of the program had many non-statutory requirements that ultimately deterred participation. Would you elaborate on what some of those non-statutory hurdles were and are?
Thank you for your leadership on this issue in the 2020 Pipes Act and in last Congress's bill, and we hope that we can continue to work on this issue. The technology demonstration pilot program gives us an opportunity to demonstrate how new technologies can improve pipeline safety. PHMSA went beyond the safeguards that Congress suggested and required technology pilot program applicants to use a special permit process and to put those before a NEPA review, none of which had ever been done for similar types of applications like that. So nobody used it.
Just, pardon for interrupting, why would they do that? They've never done it before.
It confounded us. I don't know.
But, you know, there's another kind of a theme that went through. Why aren't we prosecuting these cases? Because obviously we need higher penalties for, you know, attacks on pipelines. What's happening out there? If I maybe just, I got 36 seconds left, but are we not prosecuting, or what's happening in these cases out there?
Well, there are criminal penalties in federal pipeline safety law for damaging or destroying pipelines, but we have incidents that don't lead to immediate damage or discovery that fall under loopholes. So we think you need to address issues like valve turning that can cause pressure buildups, or torching pipelines, or shooting high-powered rifles through pipelines, all of which have happened. We'd like to work with you to close those loopholes and deter attacks against pipelines.
Well, thank you very much.